You guys, I have just jumped off my first coaching call that was assessed. And I was in the middle of journaling and I was like, you know what? I'm going to jump on the podcast and just journal my thoughts as they come. Oh my goodness. I was so nervous and so excited for this. So basically, yeah, I had my first coaching session with a mentor. So at the moment I'm in what we call triads, and it's where one person is the coach, one person's the client, one person's an observer, and then on some sessions we have a mentor that kind of gives us feedback and stuff like that. So this was my first session and I was the first person. Talk about standing in your power and being your so extra self. I was so nervous, but I was like, you know what? I'll go first. I'm gonna be the person that, I talk about being. I'm going to be her. I want to be the person that, puts her hand up in a room full of people and isn't, scared to make mistakes, and is confident. And that's what confident leash would do, put your hand up to be first. So I was first. And I got such amazing feedback from the mentor, and it was such a cool experience. Oh my goodness. So if you don't already know what life coaching is, basically it's not like we don't give advice or anything like that. Basically, we create a beautiful safe space for the client to kind of unravel, and really we just guide them and help them and support them to find the answers to the issue that they have at hand. So it's such a beautiful space, and I got such good feedback as well. I'm very much an advice kind of person. So the fact that you don't really give advice, you guide your client to find their own answers. It's such a beautiful thing when it's done well. So yeah, so I coached a client and then I got coached as well, and I observed. And in my coaching, when I got coached, the coach, she's freaking amazing, Sarah. She really, like, I had a beautiful aha moment, and that's what I want to talk about. So my goal was actually, I went in there being like, fuck, I just want to be more productive in my day. Like that was my issue. And my goal was to get more shit done in the day. And she really helped guide me and support me to find my own answers. But what I found in there was such a beautiful aha moment. And it was that, oh, what did I write here? I need to be kinder to myself and stop worrying about the societal pressure. So when it comes down to being productive, I was talking about, what I could do. And I was kind of these things, I could set my alarm earlier because at the moment I'm just waking up too late. And then by the time I get into the office, it's like so dark. And I'm like, okay, all in the day's work, and I'm my own boss. So I don't really have to start and finish at a certain time. But I really know that I have my morning routine down packed, but it's just the time I get into the office getting shit done. And I feel like I'm always behind because on my to-do list, on my calendar, I have like time slots for things, and I'll look at the time and I'll look at the time slot and I still haven't done that. And I still haven't done the 5 things ahead of like that I was supposed to do before that time. So I'm always like feeling like I'm behind. And we were just uncovering, and it's funny because they say like, oh, don't give her anything, like don't give us anything too deep or anything like that, because we're all just starting out, right? But this just came like it was it was something so like surface level, and it just went so deep for me. So I started off being like, yeah, I just want to be more productive, I just want to get more shit done in my day. And I came out with, oh, I need to be kinder to myself. I need to stop worrying about societal pressures. And it's really beautiful when you do this work. With me, like I have a life coach and I've been doing this work for nearly 5 years, but it's amazing how deep you can go and how deep you will allow yourself to go. So I feel like the more you do this work, the more you allow yourself to go deeper, the more awareness you have for yourself. You just know yourself like, inside out. And if things keep coming up, there's obviously a lesson you need to learn. And also if things keep coming up, like there's something deep down that you kind of need to uncover. So for me to uncover this, I was like, oh, like I got teary. I'm a very emotional person, but I got so teary. And I was like, damn, I do need to be kinder to myself because, if I don't wake up on time, or if I get up late, I'm like, oh, fuck, like you failed again. You didn't do what you said you were going to do again. And like, if you keep talking to yourself like that, obviously you're not going to be like, yeah, I want to get up and I want to seize the day. If you wake up and then you're like, oh, you really failed. Like you didn't even wake up to, the alarms. They've really failed the day. It's just going to send me in a downward spiral. So I was like, oh, I do need it because every day I'm like, oh, you didn't do enough. You're not doing enough. Did you do your best? You could have did better. Why are you not doing it? Like, so yeah, it was really interesting to really open that. And then worrying about societal pressures. So there is so much pressure, I feel like, and this won't be for like you may or may not relate to this, but I feel like there's so much societal pressure that, you need to be productive, you need to get shit done, you need to get closer, to your goals and dreams. And I say that a lot as well, in my mentoring program, but one thing I do say is that you just need to ask yourself, like, did you do the best that you could today? Like, did you do your best today? Like, did I do the best that I could today? And I think most times it's like, no, you could have did better. But the reason why I don't do better is because I put so much pressure on myself. I overwhelm myself, and then I kind of debilitate myself into doing things. So with my life coach, my goal, my first step to my goal was to journal out, what this actually means, be kinder to myself, stop worrying about societal pressures. And I get so caught up on where I should be and what I should be doing. And I'm so like future, and I need to just stay in the present moment. I've talked about this a lot. But another thing that came up was like social media. Like I'm on social media a lot. I'm always updating, what I'm doing in the day. And obviously that's going to take me out of my productivity because I'm updating all the time. So I need to stop, and I'm like, oh, why am I doing that? Why do I always feel like I have to check in? Why do I have to show everyone like I'm doing shit today? So that's something I'm going to stop doing and see what comes up for me. But I don't know if it's a habit or if I'm just trying to like be like, I'm doing it, guys. Like, because I preach so much about, going for your goals and dreams. But I think I'd get more done if I wasn't checking in on social media so much. Another thing I uncovered was that my dad ingrained in me, like, you have to keep working, like, or yeah, you've always got to be doing something. So like as a kid, when I was younger, I just said that as a kid, when I was younger, um, if my dad walked into the room and you were just sitting there like chilling out, you'd get in trouble. Like you had to always be doing something. So if I heard my dad coming, I'd pretend to do something, or I'd start doing something. You'd always have to be on your feet doing something. You could never relax. And when I figured, like when I journaled that and uncovered that, I was like, well, it makes sense. Why I put so much pressure on myself to be productive. It's like it comes from, and a lot of our things do, like it comes from childhood. I'm putting the same pressure on me that I had, growing up. Was like, you're ingrained into yourself. You've been ingrained that, you need to always be doing something. You can't relax. So then when you do decide to relax as an adult, which is what, that's the reason why I wanted to start my own business. And, because I wanted to have my own time to do whatever the frick I want. And now that I have that, it's like I feel so much guilt. Or I hound myself for relaxing, or for not setting an alarm and waking up late, stuff like that. But I think also, if I go a little bit deeper, it's me, what's the word? Like not what's the word, like going against, what I was. So my dad was always like, you got to be doing something, you got to be doing something. So this is me going against it, like not being productive, because I'm like, no, like I've done that my whole childhood, my whole life, and I freaking hated it. So I'm not going to do that in my adulthood, but I actually do need to do this to get closer to my goals and dreams. So it's kind of like a mind fuck. But I'm literally journaling this out of my head with you right now. Like it's just coming to me. But it makes sense. And I think it's very important that we unravel these things and uncover these things in our lives, because once we know, once there's awareness, it's like, oh, we can change it. We can do something about it, and instead of me fighting, that I don't wake up early enough, or I'm not productive enough, I don't get enough shit done in a day, I can be like, oh, that's why, that's why I do it. It's because growing up, my dad always, made sure that we were always doing something. If we didn't, we'd get in trouble. And you just have a bit of compassion for yourself. Like, I was sitting in compassion, like, oh shit, I need to be kinder to myself. Like, I need to be chill. Going for your goals and dreams doesn't have to be like strict and like a sergeant. Like, you're not in the army. It's not boot camp. My dad was very strict growing up. So, I treat myself that way. And it's like, be kind to yourself. You can still achieve your goals and dreams, but be kind. Do it nicely. And do it in a fun way. Make it fun. It doesn't have to be fucking a strain or strict or unhappy or like sad and angry. And, it can be fun. And yeah, I'm just realizing that and being like, wow, I can make this fun. Waking up to an alarm doesn't mean that I don't have, freedom. It just means that I have, my goals and dreams set, and I know what I need to do in this day to get closer to that. Because we do need to have discipline. I think as a child, I had too much discipline, and then now I'm kind of rebelling against that discipline. But I do need to bring some discipline back into my life, because I just do what I want every single day. I don't put an alarm on. I wake up when I want to wake up. I do what I want to do, whether I want to do it or not. There's nothing that I do that I don't want to do. So that means, I don't have those routines and the discipline when it comes to doing stuff that I need to do for my business or to up-level my business. It's just like I'm just doing the bare minimum where I could be doing more. And it's so funny because outside people, like, usually so many people have said to me, oh my gosh, you're doing so much. And I think that I'm actually not doing, when I really get deep with myself and keep myself accountable, I'm like, actually, Leash, you're not doing much. You're looking like you're doing much. You're fluffing around because growing up as a kid, I pretended that I was doing stuff. I was like, oh, you're actually not doing stuff. You're not doing as much as you could be doing. You're just doing all the fluff. You're not doing, stuff to progress you to get to the next level. Like, don't get me wrong, I am doing stuff, but if I stopped doing all the fluff, I feel like I could get further in life. I could do more. I could feel more fulfilled. I could feel more empowered. I could up level, getting off my phone as much. I'm on my phone a lot, like checking in with, like, you'll see if you follow me on Instagram, I'll be like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. And then I'll post it and then I'll start scrolling. And it's like, if I stop doing that, then I'd stop being on my phone so much, and just building those different habits. Building those different habits and stuff. But I thought that was an amazing thing to uncover. Like, that was my first coaching session. This was this chick's first time. Like, this is the power of life coaching. It's you finding your own answers for yourself, and you being willing to go deeper and deeper into your life and learn more and more about you. Like, every day I'm uncovering something new about myself, and I'm so happy to go there. But yeah, this session really set me on fire, even with the client I had. Like, she just had a beautiful aha moment with me as well. And I was like, fuck, I love this work. Like, I'm so here. Like, this is so my purpose, is to become a life coach and do what I'm doing in the Vibe Tribe. So it's freaking amazing. I think that's all I want to share. This is literally my live journal. Some people journal, and I did kind of journal in my book. If you're watching this, you would see. But then halfway through journaling, I was like, you know what? I should do this as a live podcast. It's me live journaling. Sometimes I do voice memos on my phone as a journal just to get it out. So this is another form. You guys can hear my journal entry. Anyways, aha moments, beautiful moments, learning more and more about myself, leveling up more, going deep into the mahi, more growth for me, more up leveling. Thanks for listening, y'all. Ka kite koikia.